are now listening to Sports Talk 916 with Greg Bull and Coach Greg Veroza.
If you'd like to participate in the show, there are a couple of ways to do it. If you want to contact us on Twitter, use the show's Twitter address, which is @SportsTalk916. For Greg B, go to @MrChief916. And for me, Coach Greg, it's @Greg Veroza. And Veroza is VAROZZA. And if you want to chat live with us, the best place to go is go to the Mixlr page and hit chat. There you'll see all of us chatting together as the show goes on. All right, well, it's Sunday, and you know what that means. That means that we have sound problems. I mean, that it's time for Sports Talk 916, and we're at episode 221. And this is the unplugged version in more ways than one, but just Mixlr tonight, no Facebook Live, and yeah, it's pretty good. I'm Coach Greg Veroza. Over there's my buddy, Mr. Chief, Greg Bull.
And over on our screen to my left is the big pussy who doesn't want to play against De'Aaron Fox.
All right, De'Aaron Fox got hurt tonight.
Great.
He bruised lower back, so he's got a sore ass.
Right on. We'll get to that later.
And let's see, what was I going to say? Together we're the two-headed monster of Greg that makes up Sports Talk 916. Yep. Unplugged version tonight. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. I want to say thank you to Antonio Pacheco, who has come aboard as a new sponsor of the show. We're going to have some new audio and some website information for Tony.
He's from
Folsom Lake Ford. He's my go-to car guy, and he can be yours also. So we will get to that a little bit later. But first, I want to start off with an amazing interview from Major League Baseball, from the Toronto Blue Jays. Mr. Kawasaki.
This might be my favorite clip of all time now.
No, we're not ever replacing this.
No, that's number one. That doesn't even count. Yep.
Damn it, Barn Bomb.
No, the Bruce Bochy one.
I say he's an idiot.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the interview.
How does your leg feel today?
Oh, feeling good.
So what happened to you? What happened?
Just crap.
Just a cramp?
Just crap.
You told me what can you eat to help you make you feel better?
Bananas.
Why bananas?
Monkeys never craps. Monkey never crap. Because a monkey every day bananas. 2.
So how many did you have today?
3. 3.
Oh yeah. So you no more cramp for you.
I need 3 banana because monkey never craps.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Arigato.
Every time I hear it, I laugh a little bit more. So that has...
And I, like you said earlier, I think the best part of that is all his teammates in the background
just
cracking
dying.
up.
They're like, monkeys never crap. So we have a new clip for the show.
Monkeys never craps.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So,
I do have to say, we have some of the best sound clips of any place in the world.
They don't pertain to anything, but they're awesome. How was your weekend, Greg Rosa?
It was pretty good.
Or how was your week and a half? We were out last week.
I know, it's been a busy couple of weeks with a lot of water polo, a lot of real estate, just kind of general bullshit. Just not a whole lot of nothing. Nothing really too exciting. I haven't done much of anything. Except work.
Yeah, we went to Apple Hill last weekend.
I tried to go up there a couple weekends ago, and I got to Placerville, and I saw the traffic coming back, and I went, no.
Yeah. We went to Apple Hill, and then we had that comedy show that we were going to. It was good. We thought it started at 8:30 or 8. It started at 5:30. We were still at Apple Hill at 4:45.
Oh, nice.
And we still made it on time to
Really?
because they started late. They had like a little opening act that they didn't know about, which was good. And then this weekend, just this week has just been running errands. I was daddy daycare all week. The wife was in Palm Springs for 4 days for work. And
I don't like the ads on the Lakers jerseys.
Yeah, me neither. Wish.com. And now I'm in race prep week. We have a Tough Mudder on Saturday in Sonoma. So
Nice.
we'll get that going and get my ass kicked. That's going to suck, by the way, because so if we don't have a show on Sunday the 15th, here's why. So it's a 12-mile course. Mm-hmm. Our group runs at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Tough Mudder is comprised of at least, let's see, Muddy Mile, Slip Wall, Arctic Enema.
Oh boy, can I do it too? I want to get an Arctic Enema. Ooh, Enema.
Block Ness Monster, Augustus Gloop. There's at least 5 water obstacles in this course.
Is there any monkey crapping?
No, but
that'd be a great obstacle. The monkey crap.
No, it's monkey cramps.
Okay.
It does sound like he's saying crap though, which is what makes it so funny.
Right.
So all those obstacles are going to be built like Wednesday, Thursday, and they're going to be filled with water Thursday, Friday. Mm-hmm. Well, the overnight temperature for this week is in the low 40s in Sonoma, which means that water is going to be cold as shit. And then we run at 8:30 in the morning. Kings lose, apparently.
75-68.
75-69.
Big offensive show.
Right. So if I die, then you'll just have to do the show with TJ.
Yeah, we'll break into your house.
Well, yeah, whatever. But yeah, so that'll be a fun one for sure. But yeah, let's talk some sports.
This is stupid. I want to talk about vaginas.
NBA preseason. Let's start with that. Have you watched any of it? Are you excited about any of it? You said De'Aaron Fox got hurt.
I saw. How much did you have on tonight?
6 minutes or so.
I probably saw about a minute and a half.
Nice.
I've watched none NBA. So I heard on the radio over here, Gary Gerald said that he hurt his back in the first half. I think he fell down and landed on his ass.
From what I've seen though, the young kids are looking good.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
A lot of energy. The blend of the older guys is really nice. The team seems to be gelling well. I'm pretty excited about where things are headed with the Sacramento Kings team. Charles Barkley, friend of the show, listener of the show, predicted the Kings to make the playoffs this year. Has Chuck hit his head, or what do you think about the possibility of that?
Well, I think Chuck hit his head a long time ago.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think a 30-win season is going to be overachieving for this team, only because they're so young and so inexperienced, and they haven't. Half of them haven't probably never even seen an NBA game before up until this last year.
Probably.
They got a long way to go. They have a long way to go to compete. The West is so deep. I mean, there's 10 teams that are legitimate playoff teams in the West. I don't see us being one of those teams. I don't see the Kings being one of those teams. They're a year or two away. Chuck has forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever know. So that's one thing. But
that's true.
I just don't see it. He has been right though. The last couple of years, when he said something, he's been right. So
right. Do you think that there's any team? I mean, is there anyone that's going to knock off the Warriors or the Cavs? I mean, is there any? Let me rephrase that question. Is there
any need to play the regular season?
Is there any need to watch the regular season or be excited about the regular season? Because barring a major injury, we pretty much know what June's going to look like.
Well, yeah, I think right now, again, with no injuries, I think it is those two teams. Although, I think Boston made some huge strides this year. So I think Cleveland's going to have to work a little bit. I'm not sure about Oklahoma City or Houston. It kind of depends on how those teams are going to gel.
Yep.
I think I'm a little, they both added parts that I like, and they both added parts that I don't like. I'm not a big Carmelo fan at all, but he's usually good the first year or so of bringing the team up, and then he kind of kicks in, and then the second, third, and fourth years are usually horrible. So they could be very, very competitive. Houston, if they can figure out a way to distribute the ball enough to make everybody happy, could be a contender. I think the difference between Golden State and those two teams versus Cleveland and Boston is a big difference. I think Golden State is miles ahead of those two other teams, even if there is an injury to one of the big four, or even to a starter. I think that the Warriors can overcome a major injury a lot faster than any of those other 4 or 5 teams can. I think those other 4 or 5 teams have to stay healthy.
TJ says, I like what OKC has done. Houston seems like they've taken a step back to me. Don't know why some say that they'll win 55 games. I don't see Houston winning 55 games. They'll be a top team. They'll be a top 3 team in the West, but I don't see them winning 55.
No.
The Warriors, Klay Thompson already said he'll take a pay cut to keep the team together. Apparently the Warriors are talking to Steph about the possibility of not offering him a max deal to keep the team together.
Really?
Which he apparently is on board with.
I'm sure he would be.
Klay had mentioned that they're looking to upset or to offset the unseat the Bulls as the best team ever. That three-peat run, those 2 3-peat runs, they're looking to be the 90s Bulls is what he said. He said we've already got 2 of the 4 or whatever, 2 of 3 years, and we're on our way for that. I think Cleveland is going to have a little bit of trouble with Boston simply for the fact that Kyrie knows in the ins and outs of everything about that team, and they're going to be very well prepared to play them. And, honestly, I think that Cleveland is going to make a panic move, and they're going to bring in a player that's going to hurt their chemistry.
Very well, good.
And that player is DeMarcus Cousins. They're going to make a move with the Pelicans. DeMarcus will be a Cavalier by the end of the year.
You think so?
And I don't think it's going to pan out for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
No, because we all know what DeMarcus does.
I like the addition of Dwayne Wade. I think that's a great small piece to add.
Yeah.
To an already
there's already established chemistry between him and LeBron, so they know how to play.
But yeah, I think that Cleveland makes a move and it's going to hurt them. The Lakers are looking. There's a possibility. I think it's going to happen that Chris Bosh signs with the Lakers. He's getting medically cleared to come back to the NBA. He's been hanging out with the GM of the Lakers, who's his former agent. He's been at camp.
Who, by the way, was a member of the Michigan State team with Magic Johnson that won the national championship, Rob Pelinka.
That's right. So, there's a lot going on in the NBA. We'll obviously talk about it more as it gets closer. I mean, it's really not far away. They shortened the preseason, so it's what, 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 weeks from Thursday was the date. So we'll get to talk a lot of NBA coming up. But first, let's switch gears. Let's talk baseball. But first, let's hear this Tony Pacheco touch. Hey guys, I'm excited to announce a new partnership with Antonio Pacheco from Folsom Lake Ford. Tony has been my go-to sales guy for a number of years, and he's come on board to bring the awesome sales buying experience to each and every one of you. All of his information is on our website at sportstalk916.com, but if you're in a hurry and you're looking for a new car, give him a call today. Antonio Pacheco, area code 530-218-7069. He will answer all of your questions in regards to the car buying experience, and he is the main guy that I trust in the Sacramento area for all of your car buying needs. Again, Antonio Pacheco, Folsom Lake Ford, 530-218-7069. That's right. Give him a call. He will hook it up. And the nice thing about Tony, it'll go into the audio on the website as well. I kind of did like a quick interview with him, is he's very well versed in specialty programs, finding the right deal. He's not going to be one of those guys that just says, here's the car I want to sell you. Here's why you're going to want this car.
Right.
Every time I've bought a car from him, we're looking at these models. We can afford this much a month. this is what we're going to do, and he makes it work, as
Good.
opposed to just saying, hey, we can do this one, here you go.
Or, hey, I got to sell this car so I can win my trip to Hawaii for the end of the month.
Exactly. So he's no pressure, no typical sales experience, or I'm sorry, the typical sale experience or buying experience is not there. He definitely has sales experience, and it's a good one. So definitely hit him up. TJ says his NBA preview is coming out on the 24th, hoping not to have equipment issues. Hey, you hush. Barnum's not here. He's on the East Coast.
Is he?
Yeah.
What's
you
he
didn't
doing
see
back
his
there?
itinerary that he wrote about on Facebook?
I'm sure I did, but
Facebook or family visits or whatever. Let's talk Major League Baseball playoffs. Wild card games were exciting. I enjoyed both of them thoroughly. It's kind of nice to watch good baseball after watching the Giants all year.
did you watch any of the Nationals game last night?
I did not.
Bryce Harper hit a moonshot that I think it's still going.
It probably
is. It was amazing.
That dude's crazy.
He is.
I watched the entire first game of the Dodgers Diamondbacks series, obviously rooting for the Diamondbacks. And as hard as it is for me to say, the Dodgers have appeared to hit that stride that they won 49 of 54 games or
They
whatever
still have
it was.
time to choke.
They still have time to choke, but they're firing on all cylinders. They lost. They're up 2-0 on the Diamondbacks. I thought the Diamondbacks would be one of the main teams that could stifle them because they did in that long losing streaks that the Dodgers had. I think though, if anybody can do it, it's going to be the high-powered Cubs or the Nationals. I mean, those two teams are as powerful when they're playing good as the Dodgers are.
Yeah.
Kershaw looked good for the first time at home in his career in the playoffs until the 7th inning when he hit 100 pitches. He threw 104 pitches in the game. 4 of them were bad.
And last far.
And he threw 2 in a row that were hit for solo. He threw 4. He had 4 solo home runs hit against him.
Oh, okay.
So those were literally the only.
I saw none of that
The
game.
only 4 bad pitches he threw, and that's hard to see. Yasiel Puig's playing really well, which is really scary because
And Kenley Jansen last night was just dealing.
he was lights out the night before.
He
too.
he had a two inning save or a 5-out save, and he was just some of those pitches should have been illegal. They were nasty.
In the American League, the Yankees extended their playoffs tonight by winning Game 3 1-0 against Cleveland, and
They did win.
Who?
The Yankees.
Yeah, they extended their series by winning 1-0.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
By what?
I got a fantasy football game going on down to the last minute.
They're good. Boston extended their playoffs tonight with a 10-3 victory over Houston. I do have a new favorite player in baseball right now, and that's little man Jose Altuve.
Oh, me too.
That
I
little
love that guy.
motherfucker is a beast.
He is a badass.
And the way he hits home runs, the way he plays, that dude is fucking ridiculous. Love everything about that little dude's game. I think Houston's going to obviously win that series. They only need to win one more. They're a fun team to watch.
They are.
But when you're bad for 9 years in a row and you get the number 1 overall pick over and over and over again, you're bound to be good eventually.
So there was a report, and I forgot about this, but after I heard about it, I remembered. I think it was about 6 years ago, and I'm not sure exactly. TJ will know what date it was. Sports Illustrated came out. The cover was with one of the Houston Astros first-round draft choices, number 1 pick overall, and the tagline was, "Here's your 2017 World Series champions."
Yeah.
And so I had forgotten about that. I remember it jogged my memory, but when I forgot about that until I heard about it, and it's very Back to the Future-ish, but yeah, I can definitely see.
I think I remember seeing that, and at the time you're like, no, the fucking Astros are garbage. But then,
right.
Like I said, you think about it, you're like, fuck, they've had the number 1 overall pick, or at least a top 3 pick for like 10 years in a row. And unlike the A's, they don't trade them away. Looking at the playoffs right now, the way things are already going, who's your American League team you think's going to pull through there? Or who do you want to pull through there?
I really want to see Washington and Cleveland. I love Cleveland's pitching. I love their hitting. Although, I like Houston. I like the way they're made up. I like their pitching too. And I could see I wouldn't mind seeing the Cubs in there again either. So I think this is the first time in a long time where I don't think it's clear cut. I think there's maybe 6 teams that could legitimately win it, and I wouldn't be surprised. Usually there's 3 or 2. You're like, okay, let's just get through the playoffs so that whoever are gonna make it because of they are by head and shoulders above everybody else. I think that's the case this year with the Dodgers, but I just don't want to admit it because I can't stand the Dodgers.
Right.
But I think there's legitimately, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers, the Cubs, or the Nationals from the National League made it. I wouldn't be surprised with the Yankees. Well, maybe a little bit more with the Yankees, but the Red Sox, the Astros, or the Indians. So I think there's those 6 teams. Any one of those teams can make the World Series. Any one of them could win it, and it wouldn't be like, oh wow, that's kind of a surprise.
No, I can agree with that. I think my 2 teams, I would love to see, like you said, the Cubs get back there. Really in the NL, it's anyone but the Dodgers. I really don't care.
You're right. I mean, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Washington just because of Dusty and the just the locals connection.
Yeah.
And I like Bryce Harper. I want to see him hit as much as I possibly can. I love watching that guy hit. And I love his, when he throws a little temper tantrum. And
TJ says that magazine was 2014 with George Springer on
that's
the cover.
Right. That's who it was.
Yeah, he can hit. He's amazing to watch. Harper he's fun.
Yeah.
And then in the American League, I would love to see Houston get there. But I think they're my fun pick. But I think Cleveland losing it in Game 7 in a walk-off last year, I would love to see Cleveland get back and win it. Let me ask you this, though. What would be more satisfying for you?
I think I know where you're going.
The Dodgers getting swept out of the championship series, and the Dodger fans just, okay, well, it wasn't our time, da-da-da-da-da. Or the Dodgers having what happened to Cleveland last year, Game 7, bottom of the, let's say, 12th inning, and Cleveland walk off the Dodgers and then send home all those damn Dodger fans salty.
No, I think
not even make it?
No, if they make it, I'm fine with that. I want to see them swept. I want to see them swept in the World Series, and I want them to be ugly losses. I want them to be 7-0, 8-2, where they just can't get anything going.
Nice.
If it comes in the Cleveland way that they lost last year, there's too much of a chance they can win. And those guys just tend to make themselves get lucky breaks all the time. So I don't want to see that happen at all.
I agree with that. Wait a minute, what the hell? All right, let's see here. How'd that game end? NFL.
Still going.
Is it? Let's talk about it. Oh, 39-26, 3 minutes ago. Damn, KC's putting up some points.
2 minutes.
2:57.
2-minute warning.
Oh, well, my fucking thing's slow. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do some bad news coming out of the NFL. Let's see here.
I think the worst news is J.J. Watt fracturing his leg.
J.J. Watt out for the year with a broken leg. Odell
Yep.
Beckham out for the year with a broken leg. Kelsey's then being evaluated for a concussion.
I think he came back out. I want to say
He may have come back out.
he didn't look. I saw him go into the little tent, and then I had to leave. But
Oh, sorry, I forgot to do that little tent thing now where they're right there on the field.
yeah,
Kaepernick, I know it's not NFL news, but Kaepernick basically says if he gets signed, he'll stand for the national anthem.
I'm still flip-flopping on that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. Honestly, and I don't like giving credit to this gentleman, but the way that the Cowboys handled it as a team, kneeling before the national anthem as a sign of unity and then standing for it, to me was the way to go.
Right.
And Vice President Mike Pence was at the Colts game today, the Colts-Niners game.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
And there was players that kneeled during, and he left. So obviously it's still rubbing people the wrong way, like you said. I really don't care to get into it because I don't.
I'm dying to, but I don't want to start something.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that here. 49ers. Let's start with them.
Very mixed emotions. So as a 49er fan for the last 35 years, 37, 38, 39 years, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see them play the way they are. On the flip side, I'm not sure this isn't how they planned it to go. To build up the defense, get the defense ready to go. Although I'm kind of confused on some of the things that they were doing today. There was a couple of formations that they had in weird times where I didn't agree with what they were doing. And just kind of see if, just throw a bunch of rookies in there and see who plays. Get another good draft pick, and then really start building. I think that they were so bad the last couple of years that they didn't have anything to build on. So they're starting to get a couple of pieces in to build on. I think another good draft, and I think last year was a good draft. I think with one more or two more good drafts, they're going to start being competitive. They could take Jacksonville's route and have like 12 good drafts in a row and then start finally playing well.
I hope not. So I kind of took a note on this the other day. Everyone's like, oh, play Bethard, play Bethard. Got it. Bethard. Play him and let's see what happens. And to me, I don't think you do that. And because I think Shanahan sees enough in practice, saw enough in the preseason to know potentially what he has in CJ Beathard. And I think him sitting back and learning from Hoyer, even though Hoyer's not doing well, he's doing well enough, I think, that it's a good learning tool for good and bads. But like you said, waiting for another draft, Lynch came in and drafted for the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it was clear that's what they were
doing. They brought in Pierre Garçon. They got Kittle, who I think could be a good piece. Hyde's looking a lot better than I thought he would.
No, he's not. He didn't play half the game today.
Well, today he didn't, but he was the second leading rusher in all the league the last, for whatever. So he's above my expectations at least. I don't think he's here next year, though.
No.
But what I think they do is they focus the draft and on the offensive side of the ball now. They go for a big running back. They go for some wide receivers. They
go for that kid out of Penn State.
They go for the O-line. And then they sit back and they look at the draft and they go, okay, that's not bad. Is it the NFL that free agency is before or after the draft?
NFL.
It's before. So the other thing that they could do is they go free agent heavy on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said, wide receivers, tight end, offensive line probably be the biggest. And they make a run at Cousins. They make a run at Alex Smith. Because I can't think of a better situation to bring Smith back for, let's say, 2 years. Let him prove the critics wrong. Let him finish what he started here. That Kaepernick took over for him. I can't think of a better quarterback right now that would be available aside from an Andrew Luck.
He's not going to be available.
He may be via trade, but you'd have to give up a lot for him.
Yeah,
I don't think that Smith. There's not a better quarterback right now than Smith that could teach Beathard the right way to play. And then you let the draft be focusing on weapons around the quarterback position. And if 2 years of Smith, you don't get back to the promised land, and you have Beathard down there. you evaluate him and you go, okay, he either, 3 years of learning, he's either the guy or he's not, and then we move along.
Right.
But then you bring a quarterback in, even if it's a rookie, that's 2.5, 3 years of a solid offense, a very good defense, and then really it's the missing pieces, the quarterback. Right now, you don't want to go the route of finding the quarterback piece and then having all the missing pieces be the people around him that you need him to succeed.
No, you're right. And I agree with that. I think I like what you say, and I kind of share the same ideas where this year in free agency, you have to build up the offensive line. You really need 3 good, strong offensive linemen. We need a number 1 receiver. We need probably a number 1 running back. Not probably, we do. We need a quarterback. I mean, they're a long ways away, but I think you can sign a couple of offensive linemen. I think the good thing about offensive linemen is you can get them in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds. That can make an impact right away. I think everybody's going to want to try to draft one of the quarterbacks. Yep. I think you draft a monster running back. We're starting to see now that the running back's starting to become a valuable position again. Yep. With Leonard Fournette,
who, by the way, dropped 64 on you today.
Yeah, I know, you bitch. I got my ass kicked.
Yes.
And I'm in 4 leagues. All 4 teams I played, Aaron Rodgers was their quarterback. With Leonard Fournette, with Ezekiel, with Gurley, there's, I think, I think people are realizing that you have to be able to run the ball in this league. Mm-hmm. Just passing it like a college team's not going to work because it's too easy to defend the pass.
And I want to get into defending the pass here in a minute because I'm pissed about something the Niners did today.
Yeah. So I think I actually kind of like what I see right now.
Yeah.
I like what I see. I don't want to live with it, and it's kind of frustrating to do. But in the long run, I really like what I see. That some of the defensive
pieces, direction,
and there's defensive pieces there. I'm going to give a shout out to somebody that I have never ever given a shout out to, and that's Tart.
Oh, he stepped up big time.
He is playing great. The secondary is playing pretty damn good. The weakness right now seems to be defensive line because everybody's hurt.
Yeah.
But there's some good pieces there. And the kicker. The kicker's playing out of his mind.
Gold.
Yeah. But I think we're on the right track. And I think next year, like you said, we concentrate on offense, build up the offensive line, draft ourselves. I would rather take a chance on a rookie 22-year-old running back than paying some 29 or 30-year-old a whole bunch of money and he hits that magic 30th birthday and he's no good anymore.
Right.
I heard today that Adrian Peterson might be made available on the trade market.
And it might be for a jockstrap cleaner.
Yeah, because he's doing nothing.
He's not doing shit over there. First prediction for me on the 49ers offseason, or maybe even midseason, it's fine, is their defensive coordinator canned.
Gone.
First of all, the Niners don't lose today if he's not a fucking dipshit. 3rd and 29 at midfield. The Colts have the ball. He drops 7 in coverage.
That's the play I was talking about.
To the 25-yard line.
Talking about.
So you give him the check down and let the guy run for 10 yards. Take 3 points. You lose by 3 points today. Play press coverage on a quarterback who's not proven at all.
No.
And make him earn that field goal.
And if he throws a touchdown, you lose. Who cares?
Right.
but don't give it away. And that's what they're doing. They did that a couple of times. They had that.
The big one I saw was in the second quarter, right before the half.
Right.
29 yards to go on third down, and they literally went into the softest coverage I've ever seen.
There was a couple that were even shorter. They were like 3rd and 8, and they had 7 guys lined up 10 yards down the field.
It's fucking stupid. And then that play, they showed it, and he's like fucking high-fiving everybody because they didn't get the first down. I'm like, you just gave him 3 points, you dipshit. So that motherfucker, I'm just, ugh. But yeah.
So what do you think about Shanahan? I mean, it's definitely too early to say he's a bust, but
he's not a bust. He came into a bad situation. Anyone that thought he was going to turn this team around day one is a little bit loopy because there's not enough. You got to look at what he came from. One of the MVP of the league last year, Julio Jones, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Mohamed Sanu, you had Gabriel there, 3 of the top wide receivers. Well, maybe not Sanu, but then you have Jacquizz Rodgers. You have Devontae Freeman at running back.
Not Jacquizz Rodgers.
No, Jacquizz.
Rodgers plays for Tampa Bay.
Then who the hell's the other quarterback or the other running back they had behind Devontae Freeman? Whatever. They had, a good, and then their defense was solid. He came from one of the most high-powered offenses in the league to me and you running wide receiver for him. You got to give the guy a buffer zone. But given what he has and what he's been working with, I'm good with it. He's had some questionable calls where I feel like there's certain moments of the game that he should defer to his offensive coordinator and should not be the one trying to manage everything on the offensive side of the ball. But given the weapons he has and given the system, given the quarterback that he has, I think he's doing okay.
Or lack thereof.
That's what I'm saying. There's not much quarterback for him to work with.
So do you think that, because he seems to be compared to the LA Rams new coaching staff a lot. His name keeps coming up, and they keep saying, 2 younger, new era coaches. Do you think the success that LA's having this year under their new coaching staff is, you and I both know it's apples and oranges, but do you think in the greater public eye that's going to have a negative connotation to the fans because they came into LA and look what's going on. They went from 2-14 or whatever they were to, what are they, 4-1? They're going to be a playoff team. Their offense is successful.
Well, they lost today, but the Rams to me have 2 things that the 49ers don't. They have Todd Gurley at running back.
Right.
And they have Jared Goff at quarterback.
Right.
The Niners don't have a running back that holds a candle to Gurley.
No.
And while still raw and rough around the edges, Goff is quickly learning how to be a very successful quarterback. And he is mountains above Brian Hoyer.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's where it comes through. I don't see that as a proper comparison. It just doesn't work.
You and I don't. And I prefaced that whole thing. Do you think the general fandom does?
I don't think the real fans, the smart fans.
I mean, and don't take this the wrong way if you're listening, which I know you're not. If there's a Keith Jogenitis out there for the LA Rams, do you think or for the 49ers? If there's a Keith Jogenitis out there for the 49ers, do you think he's bitching about the Rams being successful and the Niners aren't?
I don't even think Keith, in our knowledge of him, would make that argument.
I don't think he would either, but I'm just saying that I mean, we all know
there's overreacting fans for sure. And I think simply for the fact that it's a division rival, yes, they will make that, that assumption. But like I said, anyone that's smart enough to know what the hell they're talking about doesn't.
Right.
But like you said, I'm okay with it. But speaking of quarterbacks, so let's jump across the bay. Because you talked about it a couple years ago. You said that you weren't sold on Derek Carr. We've talked about that a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
you've since obviously retracted those feelings. Does the way the Raiders have played the last 2 weeks without him make an argument that he is that much better than many people may give him credit for? Because that team without Derek Carr is balls.
Yeah, but you're talking about E.J. Manuel, too. I mean, he's not...
Yeah, but Marshawn Lynch disappeared. Crabtree starts dropping shit left and right. Cooper's dropping shit left and right.
Cooper doesn't even exist right now.
I'm wondering if that team... Oh, and by the way, that Armstrong and Getty article that they went off about how after Carr stood for the national anthem with Khalil Mack and he got sacked 5 times against the Redskins, that the O-line basically gave up on him to teach him a lesson.
I didn't see that.
I call bullshit on that because Derek Carr is their leader through and through.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it shows with the way the team's playing. They're not confident without him calling plays. So much so that he practiced all week with a fractured back, was about 10 minutes away from starting today, and is expected to be back next week.
Yeah, they said he will play next week. Yeah, I mean, the guy, he is definitely the leader of the team. There's no doubt about it, 100%. I don't know. They have just hit a wall. He had even hit a wall while he was still playing, though. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I think there's definitely the talent. Defensively, they're just not playing up to snuff. Like you said, the receivers can't catch anymore, and Marshawn Lynch is spending too much time on the sidelines eating Skittles. I don't know what's going on over there. It can't all be because Carr's not playing.
I don't know, but let me ask
you. Would think they'd want to step up and play for him.
Right. Let me ask you this, though. In the last 2.5 years, we've seen dislocated pinky, bruised hand, dislocated thumb, broken leg, broken back. Is Derek Carr going to be looked at in the same light as Tony Romo?
You know, it's funny. As you were asking that question, that's the name that popped into my head.
Because hate him or love him, whatever you think about Tony Romo, arguably one of the better quarterbacks,
absolutely,
or best quarterbacks that we've had in a long time.
I wouldn't say best, but he was year in and year out, when healthy, a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah,
easily.
I think that you say a top 5 quarterback are the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he could never get over that hump. And every time that they started to, and they would build momentum. Obviously, some of the playoff games, like he flubbed that place holding, the bad call on the Dez Bryant thing. You know, there's a couple things that
was he really that injury prone though throughout his career?
Yeah, he had
the back that ended his career
twice.
Yeah,
he had the same collarbone broken 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He had hand issues. He had leg issues, and it seemed like every time they got momentum, he went down, and then it was next guy up.
Right.
And, yeah, Derek Carr's only in his 3rd year, but that's already happening. Should Raider fans be a little concerned?
I would be, yeah. I would be, definitely. I also think it's a product of today's NFL, too. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that play 16 games or play multiple seasons of 16 games.
Unfortunately, Brian Hoyer will.
Yeah. And Eli Manning seems to be one that could too, which is another dumpster fire.
Speaking of Eli Manning, so Peyton Manning got a statue put up at Lucas Oil Day, and he got put in the Ring of Honor. Or Ring of Fame, whatever they're calling it. Did you see David Letterman, who was the MC of the ceremony today at the statue? This motherfucker, first of all, Grizzly Adams beard.
Oh, yeah.
He's loving retired life.
Yeah.
He goes, how did he say? He said, oh, here's a fun fact if you're an NFL fan. He goes, Eli Manning and Peyton Manning have the same number of wins this year. And everyone's like, oh, and he looks around and he goes, what? Someone told me this was a roast. It was great. And it's still the same. Peyton still has the same number of wins as Eli at 0. Well deserved, by the way, for Peyton to get in the
Did you
ring.
hear? I wonder. So if you're a Denver fan and you heard what Peyton Manning said today, he said, "I will forever be a Colt." Are you offended by that?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's the end of his career.
That's
That'd be
what
like
I thought.
that'd be like Chiefs fans being offended that Joe Montana said, "I'm forever going to be a 49er."
Right.
Or Broncos fans being upset that Jerry Rice said he's always a Niner. He played a season there.
Right.
Like, no big deal. The boat curse, yeah. Since that photo in the playoffs of Odell Beckham and all those players on the yacht, they haven't won a game.
Wow.
And now Beckham's hurt.
He's done for the year.
So if they start winning with Odell Beckham gone, do they get rid of Odell Beckham?
Absolutely. I think they get rid of him anyway.
Niners could use a good wide receiver.
No.
I would take
No.
I would take Odell
No.
Beckham in a heartbeat. Yes.
No.
Yes. Here's an interesting quote for you. Let me. I'm not gonna tell you who said it, but let me know what you think about this one. If my computer will scroll. Every time I want something to work, it just fucking gets frozen. Really?
Again, that's what she said.
Right?
I don't know why that joke just never gets old, but
I love it.
It does.
When asked by reporters after the game if he was doing anything differently under center, this quarterback replied, "I don't think so, but maybe I am. Maybe I don't have it anymore. I'm not playing well enough." Ben Roethlisberger.
I was just going to say Ben
Pittsburgh
Roethlisberger.
Steelers
Yeah.
after 5 picks today.
Talk about a dumpster fire.
Remember at the end of the season, he said he was done.
Yeah.
And
well, he said he wasn't
he
sure.
was contemplating being done.
Yeah, he wasn't
and then
sure.
He came back for another year. Do you think he should have walked away? Because he's not looking
It's
good.
looking like it. And then, well, their big three are not the big three right now. You know, none of them are doing any good. You have a holdout. You have somebody, you know, he can't get the ball to Brown. He can't get the ball to Bryant. He can't get the ball to his tight ends. Offensive line is falling apart. Let me ask you this. Do you think as a team, the Steelers have overstayed their welcome? Do you think they've relied too much on old talent and they're past their prime and need to be blown up?
I don't think they necessarily need to be blown up. I think that the Steelers can keep the big two. They don't need to have the 3 Bs, you know, out there. They hope for a healthy Martavius Bryant. They keep that offense and defense together, and I think Roethlisberger walks away and they give it another shot with a year or so with a new quarterback, or maybe 2 years, to see if.
Do they go rookie quarterback or do they try to bring somebody in?
I think they move up in the draft, like TJ just said, and get a rookie for the future, and then I think they try to go after someone in the draft or in the free agency.
So do you think they try to move up to 1 and 2 and get either USC guy or
I don't think they move
UCLA
up. I don't
guy?
think they have to move up that far. I think they're in a place they can move up. Like they're already going to be probably 10th or 12th pick, maybe 15th. They're going to be middle of the road. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah.
And I think you could get a solid one at 15 to 20, and then.
But there's 2 or 3 franchise changing quarterbacks.
I don't think the Steelers right now are built for I don't know that even if they're franchise changing because of the systems they play in, that you throw those guys into the mix right away. Now the Steelers may be a team that you can because they have those weapons, like we talked about with the Niners not having. But I think they test that free agent market and they see if they could grab another quarterback out there that can lead them for a year or two. You know who I think that would be a big player in that Andrew Luck thing is Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
Ben Roethlisberger and Andrew Luck to me are very similar quarterbacks.
And I think that you insert Andrew Luck into that system and they continue striding right along. Right. So I think the Steelers are going to be one of those teams where you turn your alerts on in the offseason and see what they do, because I think it'll be fun to watch.
Right, and I kind of find myself drawn to the Steelers because I just enjoy with the potential of a big play every single time they touch the ball. Yeah, there's always that chance that one of those two wideouts or Le'Veon Bell's going to break something, or there's just some. I've always been a kind of drawn to that team.
I agree. Let's see. Let's talk about our fantasy football league.
I haven't even looked at that.
You lost big time.
Oh no, I looked at that. I was looking at the. I suck in this league.
You lost to who showed me those TDs?
Some fag.
Me. Oh, that's right. So 184-18 to 140-86. I won, and I still have a Thielen going tomorrow night. So yeah, enjoy that one. I do have to give an update, or I have to give credit to TJ last week because we had a hell of a game last week. I don't know if you saw the box score last week against TJ. The final score of our game, I had 168.86. TJ 168.48.
Oh jeez.
It came down to, who did it come down to, TJ? It came down to was it Amendola? No, it was. Oh, it was the Kansas City game on Monday night, making sure that Tyreek Hill didn't go off. It literally was just watching Tyreek Hill stats because he only had 7.50. He was projected 24, which saved my ass. But in the league right now, Pete Carroll's gum. George is 4-0. He won again today. The Pittsburgh Feelers and myself. Wait, we're in week 5, aren't we?
Yeah.
So let's see. Let me check out the other matchups.
So Pete Carroll's gum's going to be 5-0.
He'll be 5-0. I'll be 4-1. The Pittsburgh Feelers are going to be 4-1. Damn, our defending champion Jeff is 0-5.
Collinfer?
Yeah.
He's going to win this week, though.
No, he's not. He's losing.
He's up 229.68 to 211.
He's down 234. Oh, I'm looking at week 4. Just kidding. Whoops. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna be 4-1. Pittsburgh Steelers 4-1. Colin Ford's gonna win. Pete Carroll's gum's gonna win.
So who does that leave at the bottom of the standings?
The Stump Busters.
The Stump Busters.
And TJ.
Which one's TJ?
Kaiser Permanente. I love that thing. And then in our Pick'em, Veroza.
I had a good week last week.
What the fuck happened this week?
I don't know.
So
how about that? I haven't.
First
looked
of all,
at this
we gotta give credit where credit's due. We have one female in our league. That's Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
In week 1, she had 4 right. This week she had 9. She's climbed her way back up into 5th place at 43 correct. She just hurdled over you.
Shit.
You're at 42. You had 2 right this week.
Shit. God.
I had 5, which was bad. You had 12 last week. You led the league last week.
I know.
I've led the league once. Year to date, Josh Zimmerman and Mike Vanderpool are at 48. I'm at 47. TJ's 44. Melissa 43. You 42. Tom Morgan 40. Jaime Perez 37. James 37. And then Ricky and Alan never played. 2 wins, dude. What the fuck happened?
I don't know. I gotta look.
How do I do that?
This is the first. You have to.
Here we go. Wait, no.
You have to go to picks.
Oh, I scroll this way. So.
Okay, let's see. Who did I lose? I lost.
Well, no, who did you get right? So you picked Tampa Bay, they lost by 5. You picked Tennessee, they lost by 6. You picked the Niners, they lost by 3. You picked Detroit lose by 3. Buffalo lost by 4. The Giants lost by 5. You took Philly. You took Pittsburgh, who lost by 21. You took Cleveland, like almost everyone else did, who lost by 3. You took the Rams, like everyone did, who lost by 6. Oakland, who I took to lose, lost by 13. You took Dallas, who lost by 4. Everyone that you took lost by like 6 points or less, except for the Oakland game. So you were close.
And I took Kansas City. I was close to almost being undefeated.
Almost had a perfect week.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's do this.
This was a hard week to pick. I'm in a suicide pool. And I had to struggle to find a team that could actually win. Luckily, I picked Philly, but
that suicide thing. You can only pick one team per week, right? I mean, can't you not pick that team again?
Right.
So Philly's off the board for you, huh?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That is what it is.
All right, let's do our picks this week. Can you take notes on yours so we can get them going?
Yep.
How do I get to week 6? Here we go. See on my Samsung Note 8, I can write on my screen.
Oh, God, whatever.
All right, Thursday night football. Eagles at Panthers.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get back there. All right, Eagles at Panthers. I'm going Eagles.
As am I. Philly. The Bears at the Ravens. I'm going to go with Baltimore at home.
I wish I could see how Travinci's going to play. I'm going to go with Baltimore right now, but I'm going to reserve the right to change that pick.
Do they play tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If Chicago looks good and Travinsky looks good, I reserve the right to change that.
As do I. I'll put a star next to that one. Browns at Texans. I think that's an easy pick.
I don't know. Texans are pretty banged up.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson is the real deal. Packers at Vikings.
Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay also. The fuck was that? Detroit at the Saints.
I'm going Lions.
I will go the Lions also.
Even though the Saints are coming off a bye.
You know what? No, because they looked fucking bad today. Detroit did. Thanks,
Where's it at?
Stafford.
Where's it at?
In New Orleans.
You know what? I think
I'm
you're
going
right.
Saints.
I am too.
Dolphins at Falcons.
At Falcons. They're coming off a bye week.
The ATO. Patriots at Jets. We'll just go ahead and put New England.
I don't know. The Jets look pretty good.
You're going to take them over
No.
the Patriots? Come on now.
No.
New England. 49ers at Redskins.
Redskins.
I guess I should write Washington and not Red. Washington.
I'm just putting skins.
Buccaneers at Cardinals.
I'm riding the Buccaneers bandwagon
So
this
am I.
year.
I'm going Tampa Bay. Rams at Jaguars. For the first time in a long time,
That's
this is
going to be a
the game of the
great
week.
game. This almost kills me as bad as picking the Dodgers to do anything, but I'm going Rams.
I'm going Jacksonville. Steelers at Chiefs. Only undefeated team left in football. The Chiefs. I'm going to go KC, riding that Alex Smith bandwagon. Chargers at Raiders. Chargers off their first win of the year. Derek Carr back supposedly next week, barring a setback.
I'm going the Raiders.
Oakland not going to lose 4 in a row. No. Giants at Broncos. Taking Denver.
Yep.
And the Colts at the Titans on Monday.
I'm going to take the Titans.
You know what? I'm going to go with Indy right now. And again, I'm going to put a star next to that one because I don't know if Marcus Mariota is going to be back or not for that game. With Mariota gone, I think Brisket or Brissett or whatever the fuck his name is.
Bethard.
Yeah, Bethard.
Brisket.
Can come back and win.
Jacoby Brisket.
And win that.
Monkeys never claps.
Oh,
that's
shit.
good.
That's fucking awesome.
I say he's an idiot.
Oh, boy. So, Veroza, hopefully you have a better week next week. Not 2 wins.
God. I hadn't looked all day.
Oh, boy.
I hadn't looked
TJ,
all
you need
day.
a better week, too. Let's see. Again, big shout out to Tony Pacheco for coming on, listening the whole time tonight, and joining the Sports Talk 916.
Oh, wait. Before we sign off, I had this discussion with TJ earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
What's your take on this McDonald's Szechuan chicken sauce thing?
If you look at my my comment on his post,
I didn't.
I said, "Be an adult and use sriracha." I've never had it. I don't know the fascination with it.
I don't either. I mean, McDonald's isn't known for gourmet sauces or anything.
No, but
like
what's
that.
let me ask this, Mr. Rabbit Food. What's your take on McDonald's releasing a vegan burger?
Ugh.
Right?
Dude, if you're gonna go to McDonald's, you're gonna do McDonald's.
Right.
You know, you don't go to McDonald's and get a salad. Although their salads were pretty good.
I am going to request that we don't talk too much food because I can't eat until noon tomorrow. So I'm doing that intermittent fasting.
Wow.
I eat from noon to 8 and then nothing until noon.
That's stupid.
No, it works really well.
No, it doesn't.
It really does.
No, your body needs fuel.
No, I get my fuel. I get my day's worth in an 8-hour window. There's a lot of science behind it. It works.
I don't know.
You just have to be really strict on it. And when we start talking food, then I lose that strictness.
So what do you? I mean, so we can talk Szechuan sauce though.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything either. But there's a. Did you see the video that was on TJ's post?
No.
There are a bunch of guys in, I think, San Jose or somewhere, and they're shouting, "We want our sauce. Give us our sauce." It's like a whole packed McDonald's full of people wanting this sauce stuff. I don't get it. Yeah, pull up his post.
I'm going to pull up my phone and call his ass. I don't know.
I mean, I can see if it's something to your going to your childhood or something, but I would think you could go to Rayleigh's and buy Szechuan sauce. It's much better.
I'd rather just buy Szechuan chicken from Panda.
Right?
Hello?
TJ,
Hi.
what the hell is Szechuan sauce and why is it important?
Why is it important?
Yeah. Important enough to make a big deal about a post and overrun a McDonald's and chant for it.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Rick and Morty on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
I've seen a couple episodes, but in their season premiere, one of the characters, Rick, he was talking about the Szechuan sauce in the episode, and it kind of brought back a nostalgia, so to speak, for the sauce, which debuted in 1998 after the movie Mulan was released. And people have been kind of clamoring for it. Rick and Morty fans have. Even McDonald's fans have. I remember having the sauce when I was in high school when it came out. And so yesterday,
What exactly is Szechuan sauce?
Greg says, what exactly is Szechuan sauce? Is it just like a spicy ketchup?
It's like a spicy Asian sort of sauce.
Soy sauce kind of thing?
Kind of. It's almost like a teriyaki sauce, but like not quite.
So it's like a nugget dip, because I can't imagine that would go on anything else good at McDonald's.
It is a McNugget dip.
But yeah, the only one in our area that had it was the one on Wahlurga and Alberta, right in front of the Bel Air there. And the line was huge. And it turns out there were only like 20 to 24 packets total.
What? That's fucked up.
Isn't that messed up?
Wow.
So I like your comment. I read your story on that, and I like your comment that somebody found a box of them somewhere in a closet and just sent them out.
How else can that be explained? It's like, oh, look, we found a box from 1998. Here's what we'll do. We'll just give out what we have to like 17 restaurants around the country and let people fight over it.
You might be glad you didn't get it, because it might have gone bad, and you could end up being sick as a dog tomorrow.
Seriously, I actually am, because I drove by there, I saw that line, I'm like, yeesh.
Hold on. Whoa. Stop.
Yeah, I know.
Stop. You live in Orangevale.
Yes.
You drove all the way to Walegra and Alberta in Antelope in the hopes of landing a nickel's worth of Szechuan sauce.
I had no hope of this whatsoever, but I thought...
No. You didn't drive out there with no hope. You drove out there with all intents and purposes of having some, and then you realized there was no shot once you got there.
Basically.
I'm calling barn bomb. I'm calling barn bomb on you.
Damn it, TJ.
Calling a barn bomb on you.
All right, look. I'm going to go in my kitchen, and I'm going to mix up some soy sauce, some ketchup, and some sriracha. And I'm going to put a sticker on the little bottle I make, and I'm going to call it Szechuan sauce, and I'm going to charge you $6 for it, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, TJ.
All right, thanks, bud.
Thanks, buddy. I had no hope. Come on,
I
TJ.
know. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to drive. Now, Citrus Heights to Antelope's not that far.
Orangevale to Antelope.
He
lives like off the bowels of fucking Orangevale. Like,
does he?
Like Madison, or basically like, I don't want to give it too close to his location, but like the Hazel, Madison to Greenback vicinity.
Okay. Yeah, that is a good little drive. For a pack of Szechuan sauce. And you know he got in his car going, I'm going to get me some of that.
And of course, knowing TJ and knowing his love affair with Disney, of course this shit linked to a Disney movie.
Right.
Mulan. It's like, come on, man. You know what? Moana just came out. Maybe they should release like a special teriyaki sauce.
Right?
Come on, McDonald's, get your shit together. Anyways, we good now? You get that off your
Yeah,
off your
I
chest?
did.
All right, episode 221 is in the books. Thanks, Mr. Veroza. I am Greg Bull. Thank you to Antonio Pacheco. His information will be on our website, hopefully tomorrow, if not beginning of the week-ish, once he gets a few more pieces of information to me. If you're looking for a car, check him out. Greg, we got to get you a new commercial recorded so we can.
I know, we got to do that next week or so.
Get that on there, and we got to get some new contact info. For Greg Veroza, I am Greg Bull. This is episode 221.
Good night, Larry.
We'll see you guys next week.